possessions of their opponent. The most important thing.
Oh! Crazy lurk from Clef the God! Gotta see a lurk from home! Clef with the acrobatic catch.
He's got him. Fling it into Tyreek Hill. Strike up the band. Touchdown, Decroft. Great read there.
Gannon on third down. Oh, he's gonna lurk him with Taylor. 5 seconds left. Can John B's get in the field goal range?
No
Can
way.
he get in the field goal range? He's gonna have a kick. It's gonna be an ice kick to win the game for John B. Right hash mark. Ice kick for $10,000. The beast. The kick is up. And it is good. Shock the world, young fella.
The year was 1982, and Trip Hawkins, one of the original 50 Apple employees, stepped away to start his own venture, Amazing Software. The company would eventually be known as Electronic Arts. The early years of the company were filled with software development projects for the Amiga, such as Deluxe Paint. But in 1987, they launched their first game ever, Skate or Die. However, Hawkins' true desire was to create realistic sports games, in particular, football.
I had already made a tabletop football game. I did that when I was a teenager, and it was with cards and charts and dice.
At the time, the only football games on the market were 10-Yard Fight and Tecmo Bowl. In 1984, Tripp approached legendary football coach and broadcaster John Madden for both his expertise in helping develop the game and to become the face of the franchise. Coach Madden agreed. Funnily enough, however, Coach Madden wasn't Hawkins' first choice. Tripp originally wanted his favorite quarterback, the legendary Joe Montana, to be the face of the game. However, Montana already had a deal in place with Atari. Tripp's second choice, Cal coach Joe Cap and EA, couldn't reach a royalty agreement. And so John Madden Football was born.
For 2 straight days.
Madden climbs on board with the project and lends his full support to the team at EA.
He gave us all his playbooks.
Red 40, hut.
Those were really cool.
2, red.
What really had been up until that time a real arcadey kids kind of thing. And all of a sudden we've got real NFL coaches' playbooks and real information about the roster of NFL teams, and gave us pros and cons for each team.
Both the team at EA and Coach Madden had set out to make the most realistic football experience possible. However, due to the technical limitations of the machines at the time, the original build was 7-on-7. Unfortunately, this isn't what Coach Madden was expecting.
Remember when we first started, we always wanted the video game to look like it does on television. You know, that was one of my goals.
Coach Madden was irate.
We were real nervous, and I was downstairs outside, in a little loft in South of Market, waiting for John to show up. And, he pulls up in a big limo. He was real massive, and he was pretty surly. He hadn't been out of coaching that long, and some of his finer social skills still probably were yet to be developed, from the television announcing and stuff. And he came on, and he sat down, and he looked at what we had, and he was chomping on a big cigar, and he leaned back, and he goes, is that supposed to be a goal line play? And we said, yeah. And he goes, some of this I can't say for family consumption, but he said, that's not an effing goal line play, that is, and he expected to see like an NFL video, not little pixely guys with, blue or red heads.
He already thought we were dweebs, and he looked at it and he went, where's all the guys? He said, 7 on each team. There's 14 players running around, and look at this, and you can create your own plays. And he goes, no. He said, that's not football. He says, that's not Madden football. 7-on-7 football is not Madden football.
EA returned to the drawing board, taking 3 full years to release the first installment of Madden. By today's development standards, that seems tame, but at the time, that was about twice the normal development cycle. At one point, fabled game developer Bethesda was tapped to finish the project. However, the team at Bethesda only got part of the way finished before a legal battle started over EA delaying the publishing of Bethesda's own football game, Gridiron. Eventually, in 1988, the first John Madden Football officially released on the Apple II. The game sold moderately well, but the 11-on-11 action made for slow gameplay due to the technical limitations of the systems at that time. And the complex play call system led to a clunky interface. In 1990, Madden took off, coming to consoles for the first time with its Sega Genesis release.
Even though it was in its barest, most infantile form, it still got everything that just carried on and made the series great today. I mean, they came up with their interface, the way they handled passing, play calling, everything. I mean, you can look back on that basic game and it's all there.
After the overwhelming success of Madden 90, EA expanded its sports game empire, launching a hockey game, Nhl Hockey. For Madden 92, EA came up with the idea for a fake sports network, much in the style of ESPN. They called it EASN.
EASN, the Electronic Arts Sports Network.
And we conceived a sports brand very similar to ESPN. The lettering actually looked very similar, it was slanted. We also emulated graphically the announcers at the time. We did, halftime stats. We were just scrolling text, but like it made it seem like there were other games in progress.
The added presentation elements really helped push the game forward, but it wasn't until Madden 93 that the series really took off. At first glance, there weren't many changes, but upon further examination, fans and critics were treated to a host of additions that drove the realism aspect. Madden 93 introduced popular features we still use today, such as the coin toss, the ability to no huddle, one-handed catches, and overturn calls. The update to graphics and addition of EASN were also highly praised by fans.
It's simple stuff like, catching a jumping touchdown catch when somebody else dove in front of you and they're left on the ground, you go running. Stuff like that, just the rewarding head-to-head experience.
Unfortunately, right as the series started to peak due to the presentation elements, ESPN had something to say about the EASN branding. ESPN threatened legal action, and ultimately, the two parties came to an agreement. EA changed their branding in exchange for free network time on ESPN.
EA Sports, it's in the game.
Madden continued to develop year after year. Madden 94 added real NFL rosters for the first time ever, a 3D camera, and 4-player co-op. The addition of real NFL rosters and 3D movement were highly praised by fans. Meanwhile, cooperative play still exists in the same form today, allowing users to team up, with one playing the QB and the other playing the wide receiver. Madden 95 saw one of the biggest series developments to date, with passing windows being removed. This allowed for better field vision and immersion.
But the most striking gameplay change is the windowless passing option.
We took those windows off and it was like, oh my God, you can still see the guys running down the field and come open in a zone when they beat their man on a man-to-man coverage, and you can throw the ball.
Madden was now becoming a household name, but its meteoric rise wouldn't be without challenges.
The Sony PlayStation. Now see the outstanding technical capabilities of Sony's advanced video game system, and how game developers the world over can now create a stunning new generation of interactive entertainment.
1995 saw the launch of PlayStation, and EA hired Visual Concepts, eager to bring Madden to another console. However, EA wasn't happy with the progress Visual Concepts was making. In the midst of all of this, a new competitor emerged: NFL Game Day. NFL Game Day added 3D sprites, among other things, and surpassed Madden by so much that EA executives actually decided not to ship Madden 96, losing millions in development money. For Madden 97, EA again handed off development duties, this time to Tiburon. But unlike the previous development partners, Tiburon knocked it out of the park. Due to the improvements Tiburon made, Madden 97 outsold NFL Game Day, again reclaiming top spot. In 1998 though, NFL Game Day would come back strong, taking over as they went polygonal. This allowed for advanced graphics and physics. It was revolutionary, and for the first time ever, they outsold Madden. However, the success was short-lived as Madden was only a year behind, updating their own game to be polygonal in '99. This was also where one of fans' most beloved features, franchise, made its debut. Franchise mode allows for players to take control of an NFL team, making decisions about their roster and playing out the games. NFL Game Day had put up a good fight, but Madden was the clear fan favorite.
Right. Madden NFL 99 also introduced the franchise mode. You draft players, trade, you can sign free agents, etc., etc.
The year 2000 saw the launch of the PlayStation 2, and with it, Madden took a huge leap forward. Presentation elements went to the next level with Madden 2001, adding full commentary, player gear, and broadcast camera angles. But just as it seemed Madden was peaking again, a new competitor emerged. 2K Football. 2K Football was the biggest competitor of Madden. Fans loved the innovative features, realistic animations, and advanced presentation elements. 2K took a lot of the core things Madden built itself on and improved them. It had better presentation, more customization, more complex modes with things like full 32-team online franchises, and arguably, better gameplay. While the early 2000s were challenging for EA due to the competition, this actually led to some of the best titles in franchise history. 2004 saw online play and minicamps added, and is considered by most the best iteration in the series. Madden 2004 also had debatably the best football game character of all time, with 04 Vic.
Dropping back to pass on first down. Pressure. Keeps it.
And picks up a first down.
Touchdown.
Late in 2004, EA got exclusive rights to both the NFL and ESPN, dealing a crippling blow to 2K Football, who was no longer allowed to use the official NFL teams or include the ESPN broadcast elements they had previously been known for. The game survived until 2007 with the release of All-Pro 2K8, where the franchise was ultimately canceled. Madden had managed to survive legal trouble and multiple competitors, and with the rise of online play, Madden started to cement itself as a cultural icon. Local tournaments along with EA events were popping up, and Madden as an esport started to gain popularity. Even the NFL players loved the game, and by 2005, Madden had 10 million players. EA and ESPN capitalized on Madden's popularity, launching a full-fledged reality TV show called Madden Nation.
Right now, I'm on my way to Michael Strahan's house to play a little Madden, show him how some defense is really played.
Now, how many hours a day do you play this game?
Maybe 2 or 3 hours a night. So I go into work blurry-eyed because I'm a Madden fanatic.
Go. Oh, Mr. Williams. Oh, this is gonna take me a second.
Madden Nation was a huge success, fully introducing the game into the mainstream world. The show went on for 4 seasons, ultimately airing its last episode in 2008. The damage had already been done though. Madden esports were thriving. There were no competitors to the game, and Madden had become part of pop culture. In 2009, another EA Sports title, FIFA, launched with a new mode as DLC. The new mode, Ultimate Team. The mode combined the classic feel of sports cards and collecting with team building and online play. Despite EA's high hopes, however, it didn't immediately catch fans' attention. It wasn't until FIFA 11 that the mode really started to gain traction.
Hey guys, it's KSLGDBT, and I'm going back to my roots.
On January 7th, 2011, nearly halfway through Madden 11's life cycle, Madden Ultimate Team was released as DLC. Much in the same way FIFA's audience had responded, Madden's fans weren't immediately grasped by Ultimate Team. But by the time Madden 13 released, MUT had become a fan favorite, with many of the OG content creators starting around this time.
What is up, YouTube? Cullenberg here.
What's up, guys? Scone back.
Oh, what's going on, guys? Toke here.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Madden Mobile Guides here.
Hey guys, what's going on? We're back playing the Madden 17 today.
The mode had flaws and generally relied on fans to spend additional money. A somewhat new concept to console gaming. Despite this, and the fact it wasn't the mode EA supported for tournament play, its popularity skyrocketed, due in large part to the early wave of content creators. Madden continued to grow, and by 2017, it seemed like there was no stopping it. EA released a modified version of Ultimate Team called Draft Champions and started a new era in its esports competitions. The Madden Challenge Series, or MCS, was born, and the new mode Salary Cap became the main attraction. EA also drastically stepped up the production of their events, leading to massive viewership online. The game was better than ever. It was selling more copies every year than the previous, breaking its own records. Esports were flourishing, and with no football game to compete with, Madden had become the best-selling sports game franchise in America, selling over 130 million copies. It was looking like Madden might even reach new heights. But in 2018, tragedy would strike.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are coming on the air with breaking news: a mass shooting at an e-gaming tournament. It happened this afternoon in Jacksonville, Florida.
On August 26, 2018, at around 1:30 p.m., a competitor who had recently been eliminated from the tournament went to his car. He retrieved a semi-automatic handgun and returned to the venue before firing. 11 people were injured, and tragically, the lives of two of Madden's greatest young players were taken from us far too soon. Despite this tragic event, the Madden community managed to prevail, and 2020 saw new highs, as again, the game continued to break its own sales records and tournament prize pools rose, despite Madden 20 being considered by most the worst title in franchise history. Due to balancing issues, Madden 20 became all about the run. So much so that the winner of the biggest tournament that year actually had a punter at quarterback. Yet while gameplay was some of the worst it's been, the community kept pushing forward, making the most of a less than stellar game. Unfortunately, just as the Madden community was getting on its feet again.
Breaking news. The first death from coronavirus here in the United States. A man in his 50s dying from COVID-19 infection in Washington state.
Yet even during these challenging times, Madden managed to push forward yet again. All esports tournaments moved online, and Madden was no different. While the entirety of the 2021 season was played online, prize pools and viewer numbers only seemed to rise. Madden was still thriving. And when star safety Derwin James went down with a season-ending injury, EA saw an opportunity. Not only did 2021 see competitive play from pro players, but fans were also treated to matches consisting of NFL players and rappers, only further cementing EA Sports' Madden franchise into pop culture.
Nice.
Look at this.
2022 is no different, as we saw Madden release on its 35th system. The competitive prize pool raised to $1 million, and both new and old content creators alike reached new levels.
What is up, YouTube? We're back on Madden 22. Most Feared is here. Randy Moss is here.
All comes down to this. All right, guys. So today we have a joint gameplay of the two Diggs brothers.
What's going on, guys? guys. We're back.
You already know, boys. Today's motto is simple. You can't throw interceptions if you don't throw the ball.
But it wouldn't be without its own struggles.
But first, some sad news just breaking out of the world of football. NFL coaching and broadcasting legend John Madden has died. The league reports he passed away unexpectedly this morning. Madden, no doubt, one of the most iconic figures in NFL history. He dominated as both a head coach of the Raiders, winning Super Bowl 11 and finishing his career with 103 wins, 32 losses, and 7 ties.
Coach Madden had a simple goal when he agreed to help with Madden 88, to create an educational tool that could be used to bring new people into football. What he happened to do was so much more. He helped create a little piece of magic, a game that transcended generations, that survived console after console, and that's allowed football fans from all walks of life to connect, to compete, and most of all, to form a community around a shared interest, a mutual love: football.
Hey, you want big-time football? The hits, the boom, the doink, the whap. It's all here. This is my game.